Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you're watching us. Hey, this is Crypto Insight Series number 6. I would like to welcome everybody. And I want to start with introducing myself. My name is Luis Munoz. I am the CEO of LCube Studios, and I will be the moderator for today with this amazing panel. Uh, Before we get started, I would like to introduce Crypto Insight for our new listeners, for everyone who's tuning in now or whoever's watching us in the future. Crypto Insight, it's a webinar series addressing all things crypto. So here we discuss core topics such as the application of technologies as well as address legal and accounting inquiries within the industry. Our panelists consist of experts and enthusiasts eager to share their insights to help broaden your knowledge of the blockchain. We would like to accelerate the blockchain knowledge. There's so many myths. People are hating on blockchain or don't fully understand what Web3 is, and that's why we've made a group of which are eager and hungry to show you how we can accelerate this process and the technology. So before we get started, I would like to read the disclaimer. It's all this information and materials are for educational purpose only. All parties are strongly encouraged to consult with their attorneys, accountants, and financial professionals before entering any type of investment. This presentation does not constitute of an attorney-client relationship or financial or investment advice. So please, when you any information that you get from us, please just go ahead and do your own research, contact your attorneys or lawyers, because we don't want to give you the wrong information. We've done the research, but we want to make sure that you don't have any losses. And if you have any, don't do not blame us. We're looking out for you guys. Yeah, so I would like for you guys to please, if you haven't already, to register at lcubestudios.io/crypto insight. You can just register in there so you can follow us for the next series, the upcoming series. You can also scan the QR code and follow us on social media. Please, you will be helping us out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Panelist YouTube channel as well. So in this panel, so this we're already on series 6. On this series, we'll be talking about how to do your own research. And for that, I will be, I have the panelists. Today I'm bringing in to the stage, I will be having Ryan and Teddy to the stage. So Ryan comes from a traditional finance background. He worked in the public accounting for the 4 years and then took a passion as a director of finance of media company for 4 years before starting his own crypto consulting company. So if you're looking for any financial advice on where to invest your crypto money, he's your go-to person. And then we have Teddy. Teddy is a video specialist and a college educator that creates content for client work and self-purpose. He's also our crypto educator, and I would like to welcome them to stage. So then we have, hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
For jumping in, making all this time, making it happen. Ryan, I just want to start with you. I did a quick intro for you guys, but I would like you to reintroduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background and also your business. And the same thing goes for you, Teddy.
Definitely. Thank you for the intro, Louise. Big shout out to LCube Studios and everything you guys do. You guys are amazing. I'm Ryan. I started a company called Continue to Grow. It's a crypto consulting company. I'm very passionate about crypto and especially education. I hand it over to Teddy.
Yeah. I've been in crypto for 2 years, and we are in a bear market right now, but that doesn't stop us from getting prepared for the next bull market. So we're here to continue the education and continue learning ourselves because it's a brand new world, a brand new industry, and there's always something else to learn.
I see. Well, thank you guys for reintroducing yourself, and I'm happy to have you guys here. And then I will be leaving the stage for you guys to continue and share this amazing content that I know that our audience is gonna love.
Thanks. All right, we're back.
Yep, we're back.
Bro. Yes, and today we're going to talk about do your own research. Back to Crypto 101, continuing that on. So yeah, Brian, we can just jump right into this. Why is it, well, I'll just ask you real quick before we go to the first slide, like why is it important to do your own research?
It's really important because really at the end of the day, there's people that have all kinds of different interests, right, in any kind of space, but especially in the crypto space. So you don't want to just find an influencer on TikTok and then go, oh, I must buy this coin because this influencer and this influencer are talking about it without doing any research. Maybe it'll pique your interest, but I'm hoping after this webinar here, it'll give you some tools to be able to pick up and go, okay, I like the influencer, what they said, but I'm going to verify it with what these tools are.
So yeah, continuing on to that, then like do your own research. You're saying like, yeah, you're interested in it, you hear that, but why should people be interested? I guess we'll just jump right into this, like the bear market. You want to talk a little bit about that, why that's important before we go to the slides?
Yeah, so right now we are in a bear market, like what Teddy said, which anytime to me, the market cap of crypto is under $1 trillion is when it's downtrending basically, which to me is a good time to be able to really pick up some good projects on the cheap, potentially. One of the things you can look at too with any project you do like in the bear market, just look at its all-time high in the bull market and you can kind of go, okay, this is down 4x from the all-time high. And I really do like this project. I've done research on it. Maybe you bought some in the bull market, right? This is kind of help you to give you tools to give you confidence in a project if you do like it.
Yeah, and then we are in an accumulation period. So you might be like, okay, I want to dive in now. What project should I look at? You know, what's going to be a good project, going to be a bad project? You know, sometimes you are kind of gambling, but the more research you do, the more confidence you should have in an investment. That's kind of when we want to show stuff today. I know we're already throwing a lot of terms out there, and we're going to have some slides to kind of break down some of this definitions of these terms. So you ready to jump in and show why some good signs and bad signs of certain investments?
Ready.
All right. Identifying good projects and green flags.
Yeah, so this is a big one. Green flags really are a big one. Is the cryptocurrency needs little to no marketing. And what do I mean by that? It means that you don't hear about this first because of 5 different influencers that popped up last week talking about it. This is something that's been around for a while. You've had some time to hear about it, maybe for some people that have really had some success with it, and you just never got into it. But you kept hearing more and more and more about it, but not through any kind of promotional or super marketing to you change. It's just kind of more word of mouth, and then just kind of Hex is kind of a really good one, right? It was very, very, very censored, and people were very negative against it, but it didn't actually stop it from growing. Next one is the cryptocurrency has a white paper and a clear roadmap on their website. A white paper is essentially a business plan for a cryptocurrency project. So if you were looking at a business and it didn't have a business plan and you just had some people that were saying, hey, we're going to do this great thing, but they don't have any kind of paperwork or roadmap, you'd be very skeptical. And you should be skeptical too on the same thing if a cryptocurrency project doesn't have a white paper or a roadmap on where they're going or what they're actually going to do, and kind of a rough timeline. Sure, timelines will change, and that's fine. But as long as you do have a timeline and goals you're going towards and you can see where the project's going, it's positive. This is the big one, the third one.
Well, I'll touch on
this. Keep going that one.
You're saying like it's just very important, like to see it on the website, to see the plan and the clear roadmap will kind of, like you said, and also you said there might be like, they might not follow the roadmap. Hey, like by November 2022, we're hoping to have this. And if it doesn't happen, that's kind of a normal thing because this is all brand new technology and there are going to be bumps in the road. But as long as you see certain progressions, like even if they have a roadmap that's been working on for 2 years and you're already a year and a half into their plans, if they already have executed a lot of this and they're working towards it, that's also something like a nice sign to look at. They are actually committed to the promises that they're making. You know, that might take a little longer in some stuff, but you see that there was some progression. You know, that's also a good sign.
Mm-hmm. Third, the team behind the project is visible on the website or the white paper. And the reason why this is so important, Bitcoin has kind of created this culture to where if the project person or the lead is not visible, it's fine. Bitcoin is kind of a one-off. It's a one of a kind. You're not going to see another Bitcoin where there's going to be just completely anonymous people behind the whole project, and it be a very successful coin necessarily. It's very hard to find that and it be a successful coin and not be a rug pull. And when I say rug pull, what I mean by that is where you put your money in and then they take that money out and you're left with basically nothing. With the coin being worth nothing, they took out all the liquidity. And that's more of a risk with rug pulls when you have a team that has no face, no name, you don't know who they are. And the reason why that is there's no accountability, right? If you try to go after someone you don't know who they are, what their name is, where they're from, anything about them, any previous projects they've worked on, they can kind of just leave in the middle of the night and you never know who they are and never able to find them again.
And you're saying like Bitcoin, like why would it be not never like that again? I mean, Bitcoin's 13 years in the making, had to go through so many different things. Now crypto's going to be moving so fast. You know, if there's not a face to the team or project, you know, that's definitely a red flag.
Mm-hmm. Next is the team controls less than 30% of the cryptocurrency supply. And the reason why that is because if they control 90% of the supply and they've only, or say 95% of the supply and they release 5%, sure, the circulating supply is going to be super, super low. So the market cap can be pumped up for that 5% they released. But once it gets up to a certain level, what the team could possibly do is just dump the 95% on the market. And where you initially invested in the coin and maybe it went up 50% and you go, oh, okay, I'm going to put more in, it goes up another 10%. Then that team that controls 95% of the token will then go, hey, let's just dump the token on the market and take the money out. And then you're left with a token that goes down 90%, 95%, wondering what happened.
Very good thing to look for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good note.
And then another team one is the team behind the project is very active and consistent on Twitter. Nowadays, crypto Twitter is really lively and happening. So if you have a team that just doesn't get on Twitter, or they do have a Twitter and they don't ever post, that's a red flag. Or say they were posting very, very, very consistently, and then all of a sudden, there's a whole week they don't have any tweets at all. No correspondence with anybody. That's a big red flag. Kind of another green flag on here that I kind of alluded to with the 30% is having the tokenomics of the coin being so tokenomics. What I mean by that is what is the rate that the supply of the coin is going to be released and when? Is there going to be any kind of burn feature to the token? Is it unlimited? Because all those things are what affects the price. If you have a token that has unlimited supply, there's no burn rate, then that means it's just going to inflate. So to kind of contrast the two, Bitcoin has a 21 million cap on the supply. Ethereum has an unlimited amount of supply. And the reason why they both work is there's actually a burn feature for Ethereum that doesn't allow the supply to keep going. So as transactions happen, they burn part of the transaction. They burn part of the Ethereum used to facilitate the transaction.
Can you explain burning a little bit more when you say they burn it? You know, what is actually happening to the overall?
So when I say burn, what I mean by that is they're reducing the supply of Ethereum whenever a transaction happens. And so what that does is it eventually creates this. It creates a scarcity of Ethereum through the burn feature. So if I'm sending something or if I'm doing something on the Ethereum network, I have to pay a fee in ETH, and part of that fee gets destroyed, which then increases or decreases the supply of Ethereum, which increases the value of Ethereum. If it never ever burned or never had any part of the supply destroyed, you just have something that completely inflates and never actually increases in value.
Yeah, sounds like the US dollar to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk about the last note there, the last bullet point. Back to that, the teams behind every project is very active and consistent on Twitter. Now, just because that's on there doesn't mean that a project won't pump or anything like that. But with 13,000 now, I know last year we had 18,000 cryptocurrencies. I think we're up 13, 14,000 now because a lot of projects already died and fell off. It's just it's one of those green flags to look for because there was so much competition. What team is actually being transparent about what they're doing, and like I said, being part of the community and talking and being active. Like I'm saying, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work, but to be safe, like I said, we're talking about doing your own research, green flags and red flags today. That's just a big green flag, to stay behind, because if they really do care about their product and care about their projects, they will be consistent on Twitter and will be active to show how much they care and, want people to get behind them. So I just think it's a really good bullet point there.
You made me think about something else too, actually, when you brought up community. Another green flag is if it has those green flags, it's going to create a community, which is a major green flag. If a project doesn't have a community, it doesn't have a future. And the way a project does make a community is through having these kind of green flags. They have project leads and teams that are consistent on Twitter that allow people to interact with them, and then hey, let me send you this tweet about this project that I've been telling you about. Look at this. That's the way you create community, and that's the way ultimately you're able to survive as a project.
Yeah, it goes back to what you said. It needs little to no marketing. When it's already got the good utility, good tokenomics and stuff, people are going to spread the news about it, and it's going to be a strong project. So it's just all of this combined. Yeah, it's just really good safe bet. That would be a good investment. So, all right. Anything else about that before we start showing the negative stuff to look for?
I think it's pretty good, man.
The big red flags.
Yep, big red flags. So it's kind of the opposite, right? So what is going on with the red flags? Just like what I was telling you about earlier, if a cryptocurrency is heavily promoted by paid influencers and bots, it's a huge red flag. If you've never heard of this coin before until you saw this random TikTok or a random short on YouTube, and then when you look for the coin, any information on it, you don't see anything past like a week ago, that's a big red flag. There shouldn't be no information about the coin, and then all of a sudden you see this floodgate of people that are talking about it, saying, hey, you need to do this, and then you see bots and everything that are auto-replying under things on Twitter. That's a big red flag.
This was especially big with NFTs in 2021. Really
majorly bad.
Influtes. I got advertised all the time. It was like you could tell they just went on Cameo and paid them, to say something. And they just took the money and they don't even know what they were talking about. But if you pay me to say this, we'll do it. So that's why it's still important to do your own research. Hey, even if that is like something that gets your attention to a project, you go, I kind of like this. Thanks to Nas telling me what's up and, telling me that the platypus NFTs are a good project. And if you like it still, don't just rely on rapper Nas to tell you. Like, go and do your own research and like kind of follow the green flag advice and see, if this is something that's worth, investing in. Because they are trying to scam you. Yeah. So just
because essentially what they're doing is they have no credibility, so they're trying to attach themselves very quickly and very fast to whatever can give them credibility to get money.
Exactly.
Kind of the second point, what I touched on with the white paper. If there's no white paper or roadmap, or if there's a white paper but it's very, very scant, just saying, hey, we're this coin, we want to solve world hunger, but they don't tell you how or what the roadmap is or the goals that are going along with that. That's a massive red flag. You shouldn't invest in it because it's just vaporware, most likely. It's not anything that's going to be real. It's just meant to take your money. And kind of what I alluded to with what Teddy said earlier, right? The amount of coins that died. If you look at a lot of those coins, they probably would have a lot of these red flags that we're talking about here. You can look at it, and it was heavily promoted back in 2021. If you look at the website, there's actually no roadmap or no white paper on the website or anything substantial as for the project that tells you where it's going.
Yeah, I know we're going to the definitions in a minute about some of these terms, but let's we talk more about roadmap in detail. White paper. What can you compare a white paper to? Really, would you say it's almost like, in a way, terms and conditions for certain? Like if you sign up for something, you would see the detail of what this is all about, what their plans are. Like, because roadmaps is a timeline. There's
Mhm.
no roadmap. But white paper is like the nitty gritty, the details of what this project's all about. You know, what's your utility? What's their purpose? I mean, would you say that's accurate, or did you go in a little
Very
bit
accurate.
about
Yeah,
what
to me, it
exactly
really
white
is
paper
essentially like the business plan. Just like if you listen to someone pitching you about a business, but they had no business plan, or if they had a business plan, it was just very, very like two sentences, not very descriptive of like what they want to do or how they want to do it. You wouldn't want to invest in that business. Just the same way with the white paper, it should be your terms and conditions, like Teddy said, that tells you everything about it, what it's going to do, how it's going to do it, the people that are in the project that are going to lead it, and what their roles are, and how they are part of the team, and why they're part of the team, and how they're going to be able to move this forward. But if you get a white paper that just says the coin, kind of a very nondescript description of like everything it wants to do, yeah, it's no good.
Right. And you can have a project that has all the green flags and everything like that, and that's still, you need to be up to your decision of like what their project is. You know, I can create a token that can do all this stuff, and I can tell you my plans, and I'm active and everything like that. But that's where roadmap still is important. Like, okay, there's all these promises, there's all this legit, everything looks slick, everything's professional, this guy's active. But that's, you know, you need to go back. Okay, are they actually moving forward what they said? You know, I mean, you can still do everything else, but if there's no actions, you know, just always be looking out. I'll say just because you go through the check mark, green flag, green flag, green flag. Yep, I'm gonna throw all my money in. I'll check back in a year. It's one of those things you got to keep up with this project and make sure that they are still sticking to what they said.
Kind of a trifecta you can look at with the white paper, and the roadmap is, or really the white paper is the why are they doing it, what are they doing, and how are they going to do it. If you can't answer those three questions, you should walk away. If you read the roadmap, or read the white paper, and you can't figure out how are they going to do this, what are they doing, and why are they doing it? If you can't answer any of those, if you can't answer all three of those, walk away.
Really good point. Awesome point. The next one, yeah, I mean, like you said, it's the opposite kind of red green flags, but let's go through this real quick.
Yeah. And yeah, we're kind of keeping on the team. Next point, yeah, like you don't have a single clue who the team is behind the project. So say they do have a website, they do have a roadmap and the white paper, and you could even answer those three questions. But when you look at the team, they just have NFT characters and a first name only. That is a massive red flag. Even if you have all the other green flags, because if you don't know who the team is, they can leave and do whatever they want and take the liquidity out of the coin that you helped put in, and then you don't have any recourse because you don't know who they are. So yeah, even if you do have the white paper, you can answer the why, the what, and the how. If you have a team that's not visible, it's still be very, very cautious. Unless there's some reason you can figure out that actually justifies why the team's not visible, which to me there's not very much of a reason at all for that. I'd tread very cautiously. Another thing too, like kind of what I alluded to with the on the other side, was they control a very low amount of supply. But if the team controls a large amount, it's a red flag, because to me that's they could very easily dump the price of the coin once it gets to a certain level.
Very good points. Anything else to say about the no activity on Twitter? Is that pretty much there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically, if there's no activity on Twitter, or they were very active on Twiher and they stopped, red flag.
Yeah,
that's something you see, like Terra Luna. Terra Luna had it's a very good example. So Terra Luna, they were very, very active on Twitter. They were always posting, and then when its stablecoin depegged, that's when you started seeing them not post anymore, or very infrequently post. Whereas before, they were posting so frequently, telling people, hey, come to our protocol, we're doing this, we're doing that, hey, this is what the team's doing, and then it became crickets.
Yeah. Big red flag. All right. So, talk about the green flags, red flags, what to look for. But there's also the price potential of the cryptocurrency, and you're going to explain the three properties of it when you research it.
So I know we're all in it for the tech, and we really don't care about money. But just in case anybody is interested in how cryptocurrency price works and how people can potentially make money, there's three different things that make up price potential. Obviously, the current price, the circulating supply, which kind of ties into what I was telling you about with the tokenomics of a project, and then how much like a team of the project controls that supply, and then the market cap. Market cap, the easiest way to kind of look at how I look at it is it's the trust in the market and the coin. The two top coins that have the highest market cap are Bitcoin and Ethereum. They've been around the longest, and they have some of the most use cases, right? So people trust them. That's why Bitcoin has the highest market cap. Ethereum, it's I know people have talked about the flippening, but the reason why there's potential of a flippening is because of the trust that is in Ethereum. So if you have also too, this is something you can kind of do. If you're looking at a token and you kind of want to look at like, hey, what could the price get to? Look at the market cap and look at the circulating supply and go, okay, if the market cap got to this and you divide it by the circulating supply, that would tell you what the actual price of the token would be at that level. So you can kind of project out. You can go, okay, this is a coin I like that's number 50 on coin market cap. It's very similar to this coin that's in the top 10 on market cap. So if I gave the market cap of this top 10 coin to this top 50 coin, this is what the price would be. So it can kind of give you a way to kind of project out like what the price could potentially be by doing that. So if you look at this coin that's number 51 and it's got a market cap of 50 million, and then you're saying this coin is actually very similar and I think it does something better than this top 10 coin, and that top 10 coin has a market cap of 200 billion, you could go, okay, this has a lot of room to grow.
Yeah. And then like you're saying circulating supply, you put there's in quotes the amount of supply in circulation. Kind of a little quick detail of like what does that actually mean when you say in circulation? You know,
so in circulation, what I mean by that is what is the amount of the token or the cryptocurrency that is available to the market. So if I went to Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, that just tells you like the amount of the token that's potentially available at any one of those points, or a Uniswap or a MetaMask. That's what's available to the public to purchase.
Open market pretty much, but not things that could be staked or inside liquidity pools.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. That would be in circulation.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the amount in circulation. Yeah. So that's one of the things like he was talking about, like staking pools, right? So you can look at, okay, hey, this coin has a lockup that has 30% of the supply locked up until 2025. So you wouldn't count those amounts at all in the circulating supply. But you could also keep in the back of your mind, like, okay, it's in 2024, going into 2025. I know 30% of this token is going to get potentially dumped on the market, right? Because maybe these token holders were like, okay, we're willing to lock up our tokens for the long haul, with the thought of the price is going to go up. So you can always be cautious, thinking like, okay, when 2025 comes around, I need to be cautious because the price of the token could go down because people are going to have the ability to sell the token in mass.
Put it back onto the open market, raising the amount up higher, which devalues your certain the particular one you have in your like wallet, let's say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if you're also like a person who really loves the project, right? You could look at it like, oh, I hope that happens because that'll give the project a discount. When the price goes down, I'll be able to buy more. And if you've done your own research and you really love the project, then you can have conviction going into that.
Yeah, that goes back to what this whole presentation is about: is doing your own research. What he was just saying, you need to research that just by looking at the market cap, circulating supply. Research like, well, how much actually is locked up. You know, it's important. Like, and it's like you want to make money, you want to be successful in this field. It has a lot to do with doing your own research. If you just don't want to mess with it and go, I'll just invest in something, you're kind of gambling in a way. You can still win, but the probability is really low unless you do hours and hours of your own research. So always just keep that in mind. It's probably, I mean, you want to talk about that, Ryan? There's really only two guaranteed things that will always slowly move up over the years. Anything else you need to do research, you really want to invest in the project.
Yep. And kind of how I look at it, kind of Bitcoin leads the market always. And Ethereum's starting to get to the point where it's also able to influence the market pretty heavily as well. If you go outside of those two coins, that's where you really do need to put the research into what it is, why, the what, the how, and the team. And make sure you really truly understand it and don't just go willy-nilly into it, because you're likely to get hurt if you do that. If a black swan event happens, if you don't know what the team's doing and they just dump it and then they stop posting and they delete their Twitter, you have no recourse.
Exactly. Okay. Well, we talked a lot about stuff, different terms thrown out, and we talked a little more detail, but these are common things. If you ever listen to anybody talk about crypto, or just even talk about, a lot of this kind of applies to even the stock market, I think, like just investing in general. So let's, I love the topic.
Yeah.
Start it off with the shitcoin.
Shitcoin, yep. So a shitcoin is a cryptocurrency with many red flags. So this would be one that you've only heard about it because TikTok influencers last week started talking about it. You have no idea there's no white paper for it. There's no roadmap, but it sounds cool because these people are saying it's cool. That would be an example of a shitcoin. Yeah, so that's a term that gets thrown around a lot. You probably heard too of diamond hands and paper hands. So when you're listening to these crypto videos, you're like, what are all these terms? So diamond hands literally just means someone who will not sell during hard times or basically any time. They're a person who has conviction in the project, and they say, if this thing goes to zero, I'm riding it to zero. If this thing goes to 1 million, I'm riding it to 1 million. There's someone that, and a lot of times if someone has diamond hands, it really stems from, there's so many green flags and there's such a strong community that they're not going to leave. They believe in the project and they're going to be there for the long haul. Now the opposite of that is paper hands, someone who will sell during hard times or potentially any time. And a lot of times what I find is people with paper hands are people who didn't do their own research, right? They didn't know really what they were getting into, and they thought it was going to be one thing, and then it completely changed because they didn't do their research, and it did something completely different for them. So the price crashes, and they thought it was going to go to 5 million per coin because this TikTok influencer said it, and now they've lost their life savings. And so they sell. Or maybe it was actually a good coin. Potentially it had really a lot of green flags. It had a minor dip, maybe 10%, 15%, and they sell the whole bag, everything that they had, and then the price goes back up, it recovers. And the reason why that happens to some people is because they don't do their own research. They don't realize what's going on or what the token's actually doing. So maybe if they would have done research, they would know, hey, the price is going to go down 20% probably around this time period. I need to be ready to buy more. But instead they freak out, say, hey, the price went down. It's a scam. I'm selling everything. And then the price rebounds. And a lot of times in the bear market, you'll see people with paper hands do that. And then they'll come back later and say, hey, what happened? Like this token went way up in price.
Yeah.
I can go on forever with that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see you're like, well, what do you mean by diamond hand? Like, what is this hand stuff? I always just see it as a grip. You have a grip on it. You're just solid. It's you can't get it if I even had a handful of coins or even a grip on something hanging on for dear life, right? My hands are just diamond. Can't move them. The paper just start crumpling and start shaking, So that's just like you just kind of fall off the project. So that's kind of, that's where I get the analogy from when you're just talking.
I like that.
These hands, because I know some people are like, well, why is it a diamond? What's going on? So it's just, diamonds are solid.
I always think of that Arthur meme where he's like gripping his hands.
Yeah.
Is what I think about with and turning his hands into the diamonds. That's what I always think about. It's like, nah, I'm never letting this go.
Yeah, it's almost like holding the tokens and coins in your palm of your hands, just gripping like, yeah, you got such a diamond hand on it too. You think of it that way. But paper hands. That's why I see so many people that they jump on a project. Like you said, it takes a 25% dip and stuff, and they get scared and shake it. But that's where the more you do your own research, more DYOR, you can become more diamond hand towards the project because you know the project, you know what the potential is, you're well educated on it. So so you become more of a paper hands on every single investment you have by not doing your own research. So, and there you go. Leads right into DOR.
Yeah, so DYOR, right, is do your own research. And so this is what we've been preaching this whole time with telling you guys the green flags, red flags to look for, what the kind of price potential of a coin could be. Those are all things you're able to kind of get a good feeling for without having to go outside of yourself as much and basically rely on people that are influencers, right? You're able to look at what they have, look at what they're saying, and go, okay, I'll keep that in mind, but I'm going to do my own research and see how I feel about it. And then if I do feel good about it, I'll invest.
Yeah. And this is good having a definition here for white paper. I know we talked already a little more detail about it, so it's awesome to have right there for everybody to see. Yeah,
so the official definition, or not official, but an authoritative report or guide designed to inform readers about the specifications of a newly created crypto project. It's equivalent to a business plan in the traditional finance sphere. So what I've been saying the whole time, right, is it's very similar to a business plan. If someone was coming to you with a business idea and they had no business plan, they had no roadmap for what they're doing, you'd be super skeptical. You'd say, that sounds great, man. I hope it really works for you, but I'm not going to be investing with you. And you should feel the same way. If you come across a cryptocurrency project and there's no white paper, there's no roadmap, it's essentially like a business with no business plan. They really don't have a real sense of where the direction is going to be. And if they don't, you shouldn't be touching it with a 10-foot pole.
Exactly. The next one, you hear this all the time if you listen to any kind of crypto videos or any kind of thing in this space, DeFi. Some people know what it's short for decentralized finance, but pretty much what is that?
Yeah, so decentralized finance, DeFi, it's basically a new monetary system that's being built on the public blockchain without the involvement of centralized institutions. Sounds like a lot of word salad, right? So what I mean by that is it's basically taking out the middleman. So you're seeing in Lebanon, Sri Lanka, different places where banks are not allowing people to withdraw their money.
It's a centralized institution.
Because it's a centralized institution. Yeah, so your monetary value, your currency, the way that you purchase products, you purchase services is held within the centralized institution called a bank, which is all fine and dandy as long as the bank will allow you access to those funds. DeFi was created because there's been a history of centralized institutions figuring out ways to either charge you fees, not allowing access to your funds. And to me, essentially, the way I'd look at that, kind of the example I always think about, is a bank not letting you have your money or telling you when you can have your money is kind of like someone telling you when you can go to the fridge and open up and get something out of the fridge. Like it's your food, it's your money. You should be able to do with it what you want when you want. You shouldn't have to ask permission to be able to withdraw. I think like in Sri Lanka or Lebanon, it was like they could only withdraw up to $300 per month. And there were people actually robbing the bank or holding up the bank literally to get their money out of the bank. They weren't robbing people's other money. They were trying to get their money out of the bank. Right. So they actually held up the bank with a gun to get their money out.
Bills and stuff. Yeah, just to pay their own debts that they were in trouble. It's not like, hey, give me my money, I just want to have it. No, like they were needing it and they weren't allowed to have it. It's just insane.
And the landlords, if you're renting or if you're having to pay something, the people that need the money are going to go, oh, well, yeah, we'll continue to give that thing that you need, even though you're not going to give us money. No, they're gonna. That's why people are having the reactions they are, is because you're messing with their livelihood by not allowing that. And DeFi, going back to that, DeFi allows you to not have to have a centralized entity hold or allow you permission to access your funds. DeFi actually allows you to be peer-to-peer. And I know that can be scary for a lot of people, especially if you're new to the crypto space, looking at like, hey, I don't want to have to be that responsible for my funds or for my money. But the scary part to me is if you do rely on a centralized entity, what if they decide they don't want to give you your funds? You can't do anything besides maybe be violent with them, right? This allows you to, DeFi allows you to basically be self-sufficient.
Okay. All right, so we're about only halfway through the slides here. We're running out of time a little bit, so we'll pick
Oh
up
yeah,
for everybody real quick.
pick up the pace.
So DOI, and these are important. No, they're very
Mhm.
important terms.
Yeah. Okay. So a DAO. People have heard of DAOs. It's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's an organization working without a central government, usually operated by shareholders, which has a transparent set of rules encoded on the computer program. So it's similar to DeFi, but it basically is creating an entity that is going to work off pre-code, and it's based off the shareholder. So it could be me and Teddy created a DAO. That's going to function and do these specific things. So once we've set the code up and we've set the shareholders up, it cannot be it can't be changed. It's once it's set in stone. So you better have it the way you want it before you finalize it. And part of the reason for the beautiful thing about that is it allows you to not have a centralized entity that controls your stuff still. You're able to make this entity that you control, and it'll do what you want when you want.
Awesome.
Pump and dump. So, oh, you want to, yeah.
No, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Pump and dump. People have heard of those. A pump and dump is the artificial inflation of the price of an asset. And you'll see those a lot of times through those TikTok influencers or different influencers where they'll say, hey, you should invest in this coin. And then you see the first video and then you look at the coin and you go, oh man, it went up 20%. I missed out. I should have put money into this. And then you dump a lot of money into it and then it goes down 80%, 90%. Those are really meant to make you feel the FOMO and make you feel like you're missing out and you need to do it now and you need to put all your money in. But it's really meant to take your money from you in a short amount of time.
Cool. And then, yeah, we already mentioned the bull and the bear, but detail about it though.
Yeah, bull market, just high sentiment. So 2021, 2020, end of 2020 going into 2021, we got to experience this bull market euphoria where everything's going up. Everyone's very happy about things. Everyone's like, hey, everyone's making money. If you make a project, it's going to go up. Just sentiment's high. Honestly, what it is it kind of basically people feel like it's never going to go down. It's kind of what happens at the peak of a bull market. People think it's just going to keep going and going. So Bitcoin was going to be $100,000 in this last bull market, or maybe 250,000 potentially. No one in the world thought middle of 2021 that Bitcoin was going to be 70K and that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, just because it dropped down, it's like Bitcoin over. I knew it was a bunch of BS. It's over. That's where you look at the the ups and downs of the graph, and just you got to zoom out to see where it's low now. Was it extremely high in 2018?
Yep.
So we're back down to that, but then just imagine where 2025 is going to be.
Yeah, you make a great point. So yeah, Bitcoin going from 70K to 20K seems like a crazy amount of drop. But people back in 2017, 2016 would have begged for 20K Bitcoin as just being a natural floor for the price. So you got to, I know everyone wants to really focus on the highs, higher highs, but really what you should focus on is looking at the lows and seeing if the lows get higher. If the lows continue to get higher, that means that it's going to continue that way. The floor is not going to follow the coin and go down 90%, 99% or even worse, right?
Now, what happens if it does? If you see a project that just kind of does go 90%,
so if it does go that way, and you've done your research, right? Maybe it's because it's just the ebbs and flows of the market, right? Like we're in right now is a bear market, where essentially Bitcoin and Ethereum usually go the 85% route, and then every other coin goes more 99% potentially. So if it's a coin that you like that's like say Phantom Hex or whatever, and it goes down 99%, but if you have conviction in it, then it's just really a time to buy. It's a clearance sale for the projects you really love. So anytime Bitcoin or Ethereum go down, the altcoins or the coins that you like that are outside of those two, are usually going to be at a massive discount. Typically, honestly, if the market cap of crypto is under $1 trillion or 1 trillion, it's usually at a discount.
Yeah, that I mean, like I said, it matters how the point of view you have on the space. If you truly believe in the investments, like I said, like Brian mentioned before earlier, like it's a discount. It is time to accumulate. It is time to buy. But then that's the thing. It's like just studying more, doing more of your own research. Is like, when is the lowest in? It's very hard. It's very hard to call the lowest part of it, because it could drop down and come back up and go back down, and then slowly, that's the end of it. That is the bottom. Then we start going back up from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as I said, the more research you do, the better at timing you can be on that. And that's where dollar cost averaging in is still like just a nice practice to do with investing. If you want to explain that real fast, what's that?
Yeah.
Cost averaging.
Yeah. So dollar cost averaging is you're not putting your whole amount in at one time when you're investing. You're taking a portion at a time, and you can do that where, let's say you have $1,000 and you just wanted to put in $100 a week. You could do it on a certain day, or you could do that would be kind of like a time-based one, or you could do a price-based one where you're like, okay, I know it's going to go down here, go down there. So every time it goes down 10%, 20%, 15%, I'm going to put in a chunk. And you can do a combination of both. You could go, okay, I'm going to put $100 per weekend, and then if there's a price decrease of 20%, I'm going to put in $250 every time. You can kind of have different rules like that, and you can do dollar cost averaging whatever way you want, right? It's like a recipe. You could put a little extra more of this spice, a little less of this spice. Just like you could go, every 2 weeks I'm going to do this, or if it goes down 5%, I'm going to put more in, or every day I'm going to put in $5. You could do. There's all kinds of different ways you can dollar cost average. You just got to figure out what you're comfortable with and what you like.
One reason, it's less stress. you know you're investing and you're making moves. You're not having this constantly looking at the numbers and stressing out about the amounts. So, number one thing. But yeah, let's jump on. What about, we kind of talked about bear market there, but what about HODL?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like it's spelled. It's like hold backwards. It's like going jumble. What's up with that?
Yeah, HODL. So HODL, people have talked about that. HODL, hold on for dear life, and that's kind of talking about have kind of a diamond hands mentality. Don't feel like, hey, the price went down 20%, the world's ending, this is all a scam, I need to get out of this. Hold on for dear life. Don't let go. If you've done your research, hodling should be fairly easy because you have the conviction behind it. If you're not able to hodl, then you need to kind of be, I think, introspective, right? Like what is making you go, hey, I don't like this thing now that you were in love with.
Right.
And then, wrecked. So, and the reason why you do your DYOR is so you don't get wrecked. And what do I mean by that? If you get wrecked, that means you're losing money, either through selling or being scammed. So, if you're scammed, that means you didn't do your research up front. You didn't see like, oh, actually, there is no team behind this that I can find. And now that I'm looking at the white paper, I don't actually see anything talking about what they're doing, the what, why, how. And you can be like, okay, I understand why I lost money now on this. Or, right, you can get wrecked through not having the conviction of hey, Bitcoin just went down 10%. It's not a scam. It just went down 10%. But instead, you sell everything, and then Bitcoin rebounds 25, 30%, and it doesn't go back for another 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, wrecked.
And you're sitting there crying because you're like, man, if I would have left that money in, I would have this much right now. And everyone has had that conversation with themselves in crypto, not just you.
All right. Anything else about wreck before we move on from the crypto terms?
I think that's pretty good.
So we just want to move into the types of tokens now. So there's so many different types of tokens. Like I was saying, there's the 13,000, 14,000 in the market. We're going to kind of go to definitions about it. Even though there's 14,000, I guarantee you 10,000 or 12,000 of that is one in particular kind of token that we're going to end these slides on. But one of the more important ones, the smart contract platforms. So here's just a few examples to the left. These are 3 that I just put on here for market cap. purposes, like there's plenty, but these are the top 3 smart contracts by market cap. So what exactly is a smart contract platform, Ryan?
So a smart contract platform is essentially the foundation where other cryptocurrencies are built. So a lot of people have heard of stable coins like USDC, Tether, maybe different Web3 protocols like Uniswap or like Filecoin. It's going to be later. Those are built on Ethereum. So Ethereum is just the foundation, and these tokens are built on that foundation of Ethereum. Binance blockchain is the same kind of setup. It's actually a fork of Ethereum that they made, and Cardano is similar too. It's also a smart contract platform that has different things that are built on top of it as well. So really, the way I've always looked at these is they're just really the foundation, and then you're starting to build the things on top of that foundation. The different rooms you're building on the house are the coins you're building, and that foundation is Ethereum.
Yeah, so that'll be called, that foundation is layer 1.
Yep.
Correct. Yep. And then we'll build on top of that the buildings and stuff, layer 2. So yeah. So that's where we are right now in the crypto space. We are laying the foundation across, and there are already layer 2s and altcoins and things on top of that right now. There's even a layer 0 and certain things we won't get into today that's kind of like the underground subways or the sewer system and stuff that kind of helps connect these foundations together, these building foundations.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a great point. Anything else about those?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Decentralized finance tokens, DeFi tokens.
So yeah, what we were talking about earlier, right, with decentralized finance and being able to take out the middleman. These are basically Web3 projects that allow you to not have the middleman involved, no centralized entities. Chainlink, DAI is a stable coin. Chainlink is a protocol that allows different things to connect. And Avalanche is actually an L1, but it's actually really geared toward DeFi, gaming, different projects like that. These tokens are what's going to allow us in the future to be able to interact without having so much governance over us on what we're doing, how we're doing it, and when we do it.
Do you want to talk, is there any kind of thing you want to mention about the difference, like smart contracts? Like, is Ethereum considered centralized, or is it DeFi or not?
Ethereum is becoming more and more centralized as they've been doing what they've been doing. So a lot of people,
because centralized doesn't mean it's an awfully bad thing either. I just kind of want to make that point.
Yeah.
There's no control.
Mm-hmm.
You have it full. Doesn't mean it's bad though. If you see a centralized situation. Yeah,
things can be too decentralized. But yeah, with Ethereum becoming more centralized, it actually is allowing it to become more inclusive. But it's not becoming centralized to the level like a bank is, right? They can't just say, hey, this address and this address are not allowed to sink coins now on Ethereum. Now they have been able to do some things where, like Tornado Cash, where they can blacklist you, right? So if a merchant a merchant can be like, hey, these following addresses were blacklisted, so I actually can't accept anything from you because it's coming from this wallet address.
Yeah, I just want to make that point. This, you might be like, oh, well, DeFi is the way to go. That's like, that's completely free from anything, whatever. So I should just stay completely away from any kind of centralized type situation. So I don't want to make sure we didn't seem like centralization, bad word or anything.
No, centralization is not bad. I mean, even with like centralized entities like Coinbase or Binance, right? They have a purpose. So to me, those kind of things that are super centralized like that are the way for the masses to be able to onboard. So you can onboard onto that centralized entity, and then once you've got your funds cleared, then you can move it on to a decentralized entity that you control.
Which is some good advice to do. You don't want to just leave it on a centralized exchange. You might have heard of DEXs. They are DEXs, which are decentralized exchanges. But a lot of like how you get onboarded into crypto, you use a centralized exchange like a Coinbase, Kraken, or Gemini. That's what I even use, but I make sure not to keep it on there. Like they'll try and entice you to keep your money there to gain interest and things like that. But just keep in mind, they still have control over your token. So it's just good advice. Like come up, take it off. Like if you invested once a week maybe once a month you want to try to offboard it off there, but you got to pay a fee every time you go, take it off and offboard that. So just keep that in mind. Use your own budget when you would want to. Just don't ever just completely have your coins live on a centralized exchange. It's just not good advice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother topic. But we're on topic of just what is decentralized finance and these kinds of tokens. So I thought it was a good thing to kind of talk about.
Oh no, I agree with you. Like centralized entities are not evil, all encompassing, and you have to avoid them at all costs. They can have their uses, and as long as you keep that in mind and don't just blindly trust the centralized entity, you'll be in a good spot.
Great, yeah. One of my favorite topics are type of tokens, real world utility. Love tokens have utility. And this is where I think it's really be game changing of why people be on board, not just to make money, like, oh, this is a good investment, it's going to grow over time. That's not just all what cryptocurrencies can do. There's a lot of utility and stuff, real world utility we can utilize. And I think this stuff is the future. So what exactly is that though?
Yeah, so tokens that have real world utility, they're still developing, right? Like this is where it is kind of similar to me to like the .com bubble that we had, where everything that they could make a website for, they would, right? And I think we're going to see similar things for coins in the Web3 space as well, where, yeah, it is a real world utility, but does it really make sense to do it that way necessarily, or does it actually give a benefit to the real world thing you're trying to do? So these three are examples of coins that are trying to either do something in the real world with where they hold information. They do something with your sports team or branding that allows you to trade and actually own what you're doing and trading around. And even NFTs can have real world utility potentially as well. Where I know a lot of people talk about NFTs and they've kind of left a bad taste in some people's mouths with just the images, right? But if you, like a Bored Ape Yacht Club, depending on the tier, could give you access to going to real world parties where celebrities like Steph Curry and other actors and actresses maybe go. But it's only if you own that NFT that allows you to go to that real world event. So tokens that have real world utility are really going to be at the end of the day the ones that survive. Like what people speculate with Bitcoin and why it'll survive is products and services will be priced in Bitcoin as a real world utility, and Ethereum will be the smart contract. So you have a contract in Ethereum that could maybe be paid in Bitcoin or be paid in Ethereum, which gives it real world utility, not just a thing you look at on a screen.
Excellent. That was an awesome explanation of that. But yeah, we've all heard about this, the Metaverse. Even the Facebook corporation changed their name to Meta to kind of start moving towards this kind of stuff. So exactly, why would I invest in a Metaverse type token?
Yeah, so Metaverse tokens, they're digital assets which provide benefits in Metaverse projects. So the GameFi and Metaverse are very, very closely related. So these are the ones where it just creates the Metaverse itself and allows you to have land. Maybe you want to advertise. Snoop Dogg, right, has land in Decentralized that he has. So the Metaverse is basically going to be a digital representation of a lot of things we do now. What do you want to add to that?
Yeah, So right now where we're at with kind of Metaverse is like we're buying plots of land, and they're going to be building on top of it. So you currently own the land. That's the big thing. It's like being the land baron. It's like going in there and grabbing some land now, while they can still develop this technology and build on top of it, and you will own this land. And you use these tokens to invest in this land. It might be like 10,000 sandbox tokens to buy a plot of land. Then once you build it on there and have certain things you can do, then you might be like 100 sandbox. So the more people, supply and demand, they, buy in the sandbox and buy that, the token price will go up. So you don't have to be involved in owning the land or even involved. You can just be invested into the project knowing that this could be the future and the value of what you hold, can go up, and you can, sell that into, fiat money or just, invest into the project. So just kind of what these tokens really are, what they represent. Just because you buy one sandbox token, that doesn't mean you own a piece of the Metaverse. You're investing into the project. Am I right or wrong about that? Right?
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, yeah, it's like that's what it is for. What is the metaverse and things like that? So it's just gonna be like almost like a virtual reality, like going into like the land. Like I said, will be kind of you can be involved and live, and that's where I think Facebook jumped the gun a little too fast. People weren't ready. They jump into their world meta without something being explained and everything. So it's just still the beginnings of everything, but it might be something good to be invested in. Just want to explain they have tokens. It is people like, well, I'm not going to buy into VR. Well, I'm not going to buy this stuff. Well, you think about it, you're investing into the company and stuff. That's what they have their own tokens. And I don't want to call it currency, but
it's essentially kind of like you're buying land in a foreign country, and then you're using that country's currency to do business in that country, which would be that metaverse, right? So to be able to buy land in that metaverse, you'll have to use that own metaverse's token to be able to do that. And in the future too, right? We were talking like the L0, like L0, right? Well, these will have the ability to, or L1, these will have the ability to interact with multiple things, not just within its own ecosystem. In the future is the goal for a lot of these projects.
Yeah, and there's plenty out there, but these guys are the top three. It's been around, and they're moving forward with stuff. So these kind of want to show, hey, these are three to kind of look into if you're interested into the metaverse token. All right, another one of my favorites here. It's gonna be a big opinion. The GameFi. It's going to change everything.
GameFi is going to be. There's going to be an amazing big push on this eventually because. Yeah, GameFi. So GameFi stands for game finance. These are games which let you earn real world value as you play. So if you played video games, right, you've gotten to where it's like you have that all like your supply thing in the top right is 999999999, and like you've got all the items you can get out of it. You've bought everything. You've defeated every boss. Well, now with GameFi like Illuvium, Gala Games, Axie Infinity. This allows you to actually own the characters, own the items, and they can be converted into Illuvium or Gala token or Axie Infinity token, which can then be converted into Ethereum, which can then be converted into whatever fiat you want. So now if you have say you're amazing at a game, you can actually really make money off of this. Not just go to a tournament and win money that way. You can actually have a kind of an ecosystem in the game that you control. You have characters and items that can either be flipped for more money or can be used to make more money for you.
Yeah, and like I said, the same thing. It's like you're invested into this universe, and if you win a match, like you win a battle in Illuvium or Gala Games, you would earn Gala or Illuvium tokens and things like that. You can turn around and buy more into that, or turn around and sell it out into your fiat currency. And this is just going to be a booming industry here. And even Gala Games doesn't even go by Gala Games anymore because they're doing the trifecta of entertainment. They're invested $5 billion into music, movies, and games. So they're going to have Gala Film, Gala Music. There's already artists signed up for NFTs and music and stuff for that. So they're doing a lot of moves. And then Illuvium is going to be the first AAA GameFi game out there. And it's really promising. Axie Infinity has already proven that this, and they're really big over in Asia more than anywhere else, probably in the world, but they've already proven that you can make a living off these GameFi games. So I just want to kind of touch on why these three right here. I just want to point out kind of what GameFi tokens are.
Yeah, and the reason why that they're so valuable, right, is if you're playing Pokemon Go by Niantic, if they decide to shut down their servers and call it a day, you've got nothing. You put 100,000 hours into this game. Caught everything you can catch, but you don't have any ownership. You don't have any way to do anything about it. The game's just over. With Illuvium, you would actually own part of the game and be able to basically share in that revenue because you actually own it because it's a Web3 project. And that's what Web3 really, to me, is this GameFi kind of pushes, right, is you actually own part of the web. So with these games that are being built on Web3, you actually own part of the game. You're not just playing it for fun and making the game developer the money only. And if the game developer decides to quit, you're out. With this, you actually own it, and you can do different things with the item. So if you want to sell one of your Pokemon, which would be an alluvial, you can actually do that and make money off of it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like getting and playing a game. You finally go and find that tier, which is rare. Like 5% of players get to have access to it or stuff like that. And you finally get to this level and you build up like a Pokemon Illuvium. It's worth so much money. You can try and actually sell that for real fiat currency to somebody who really else wants it, that can take your item and go and play and win more matches with it. So it gives you actual control back to the player, and it's just such an exciting future. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
I
mean, we can talk all day, but I know
we can talk all day. We can talk all day about it. Yeah.
We're going. So this is our final slide of the presentation. What a way to end it right here, baby.
Yeah. Okay. Meme coins. So I know everyone's heard about a few of these at least, like Doge and Shiba Inu. But meme coins are the creme de la creme of shit coins. So these would be coins that you look at them, they have red flags out the wazoo, right? But they still build a community, and the community is strong around them. So Dogecoin, Shiba Inu are coins where the supply may be unlimited. You really don't have a team behind it, but people love it because you can meme about it, right? If you can make a meme about it, you can actually reach the masses pretty fast. And if you can get that meme culture to then build a community around it, then you've got a creme de la creme shit coin, meme coin.
Yeah, when I hear people talk crap about cryptocurrency, and I ask why, or I read why, if they post on their Twitter, like, this is what they're talking about. This is all they know about. And like, I've looked enough crypto to study that. Why would you invest in a dog coin? All you're doing is making money off buying it cheaper than the next guy, and then the price goes up. Yeah. And I myself invested in the Shiba, knowing that people were like going to get the trend. I made a little bit of money and then just sold it and stuff. I played the pump and dump game with this piece of crap, but this is a big gamble. You're always going to gamble. Some will win, 95% will lose, 99% will lose. So I'm just saying, just be careful. I would just completely stay. If you're wanting to really, truly do your own research and invest in crypto, stay away. Like Ryan said, they have all the red flags. Don't even try to mess with them and stuff like that. If you want to play around and gamble, this is a casino right here. That's not even worth it. But if you know what you're doing, you got to know, like, hey, this is going to make a little bit of money real quick. I put a little bit in. That's whatever you want to do. But we just advise, stay away.
Stay away. Yeah, and then the pumps, you really don't know why the pump's going to happen, right? Like Dogecoin had a massive pump because of just Elon Musk talking about it. Not because the team has a white paper and roadmap that makes Dogecoin this amazing coin. It was just off of random hype. And if you happen to see the pump happen and you sell, good for you. But a lot of people don't have that happen, and they become the exit liquidity for people.
Yeah, and then you'll see some people. Well, I've seen some retailers, some people start accepting Doge. I've heard this. Yeah, because they're trying to jump in the bandwagon, going, people are actually doing this, and then 6 months later, they're not going to use it anymore. They're going to completely get rid of it too. So you got to really think about projects going to be around long term. You know what I mean? So just beware of that. And because of Doge, Shiba was like Ethereum's version of that people try to jump on because they heard had the Doge pump. So they all jumped on Shiba, and they made that price go up just because of the FUD or fear of missing out of, the FOMO on Doge. But Shiba already, since then, has just been going down and down and down because there's no utility, there's no growth behind it. So a lot of people lost a lot of money on Shiba. We've made a lot of money, but most people lost a lot of money.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say too, right? Like there could be a meme coin that maybe has a low market cap that you maybe get into, and then the price goes up, but you can't sell it because no one's trying to buy it. And so you can see the price keep going up and up and up and up and up and up, but there's no one trying to buy the coin, so it's useless for you. Those are different things you can see too. Where like you could be exit liquidity, or you could just have your money locked in there, and you can never get it out because you can't ever sell it. No one's ever trying to buy it.
Yeah.
A lot of ways I look at. Oh, go ahead.
I said a lot of people get stuck in this situation.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times these can be kind of the gateway for people in crypto, right? So a lot of people gateway their first introduction is through meme coins. And if they're able to hold on and learn from that experience, that's what usually gets them in the space to learn about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other more solid coins.
Yeah, more than likely, you see a little cartoon image, like the bottom right pixel of a dog or something, or even just a dog faces. Just, step lightly. be cautious. That's all I'm saying. It's a cute little photo. They're trying to attract your attention. So just beware. Anything else about that?
No. Like with these, you'll find probably white papers saying like we're trying to make the cutest puppies around the world all the time, and that's all it says in the white paper. That's the kind of stuff you can come across with these kind of coins.
Right. Well, appreciate everyone sticking with us for this long and stuff. We'll bring Louise back in here. So.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah, but let me hold you guys for a second. Just to add to that, to the shit coins or the meme coins, it's sometimes there are also big names behind these coins that kind of support these tokens or just meme coins and makes the price go up and go from there. Yeah, so we kind of need to set a line, draw that line, right? And it's like, hey, this is until where we go, and at the end of the day, it's your money, right? So you want to really be smart where you put your money, right? And then I know you guys talk about, define a lot of terms, that I just want to add another thing. Is I want to define Web3. I was reading something last week, and this really was like really simple, really straightforward. And Web3 is an idea which incorporates concepts such as decentralization, blockchain technologies, and token-based economics. So I think that's how we can define it. And also another definition that I found too is Web3 refers to a decentralized online ecosystem based on the blockchain. So for anyone out there who's trying to, is getting these new terms, it's like, what's Web3 and everything, now you guys know. I also have a couple of questions for you guys. I know you mentioned that people should have you guys mentioned about the green and the red flags to look out for NFT projects and everything. But what about for people who are actually interested in starting an NFT project and doesn't have like a community, and they're starting out, or they don't have such a big presence online? What do you go about? Are you still got to be skeptical about these projects, or yeah? It's an open question. Ryan or Teddy, you guys can answer.
You want to go first, Teddy?
Yeah.
Or
I have one little thing to say about it. I guess I'll go.
I can go first.
Yeah. NFT projects can still have the white paper and everything. But I know what you're saying. I don't know. I would just really research the community myself. I know what you're saying. It might just be the NFT in general. That's not like a huge build behind it. It's just like, hey, this is a project, this exists, here it is. But that's where I'm someone who, I'm not crazy an art collector or anything like that. I invest in NFTs that have utility. I want to know the utility. And I think NFTs are a wonderful thing. It's going to be the future, how they handle it. I truly believe in it, the tech behind it. But for me, it has to have some kind of utility. That's just me personally, though.
Yeah, same for me, right? So utility, a white paper, or real world utility for me. So an NFT of from Alluvial or from Alluvium, right? That I can sell or use or rent out to somebody, or an NFT like a Magic Cat off of Phantom that allows me to get higher yield if I use it on a protocol. Those would be the kind of NFTs that I would look at, where they really have a lot of utility and not just like hey, look at this picture on my phone of this NFT I own, but that's all it is. That doesn't excite me as much. Like Teddy, I'm not as much of a art person really either. But I'm looking for real world utility in NFTs. If it doesn't have a real world utility, it's not of much interest to me. And you were talking too about creating NFTs. There's a lot of different ways. I think Rarible, different ones give you access to be able to create your own. But unless there's really real world utility along with the creation of it, that will then create a community around it. To me, it's not as interesting to me.
Yeah, you're talking about red flag, green flag. That's what I personally be looking for. It's hard to give advice on that. Up to the individual. We can only tell you what we are looking for. Like I said, what utility does it have, or is it going to be people want to make money off of? Like the NBA shot. What is it?
Top Shots, NBA Top Shots.
Top Shot. Yeah.
I have some UFC.
Same here.
Trading stuff myself. So it's nice to kind of be collectible like that. there's some video behind it. It's not just a JPEG and stuff. And there's a marketplace for it in the project. You know, it's funded. It's going well. So I look into things like that. You know, just because it's on OpenSea and it looks pretty, and the demand's high for this week, you can look at the highest trading value on OpenSea and quickly jump on it. Well, it's going to probably, no one's going to give a shit about it 2 days later on OpenSea. You got to be kind of use your sense, like, okay, what is the next thing? So that's what I personally look for. Like Brian's just saying, what kind of utility, what kind of fan base is. The UFC is a huge fan base, and you know, there's certain quantities of the UFC cards and stuff. If there's 50,000 of UFC, why would I want to invest? It's not really going to have full value. So the same things like baseball cards back in the day. We're just transitioning to more of a digital asset. But yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I'd
say if it's art only, it's okay. So if it's art only in a bull market, it can do well. But in a bear market, if it's art only and there's no real world utility, it's more likely to tank, I feel like, right? Whereas if you have it for real world utility, like a Magic Cat, you're not going to dump the NFT when the bear market happens because you get increased yield still. So you don't want to lose that extra interest you would get with that NFT just because the bear market's here. Or like Illuvium, where you have either like a Pokemon character or like a weapon that's an NFT. You're not going to dump that in the bear market because you're still winning fights more and more and able to earn more Ethereum or Illuvium. So you're not going to dump that NFT as much. But if it's just strictly art and just something you look at, I would see those as the ones that are more susceptible to be dumped in a bear market.
An example would be, let's say I have an NFT collection, or an NFT and I can use it in a game. Would that be considered more of a utility for the NFT? Okay.
Yeah, if it can be used in a game, definitely, right? And that's what if it's not just the art, right? It looks cool, but you also have the ability to use it in a game. You're not going to be as likely to dump it, and you'll actually be more likely to have people that want to buy it off of you all the time, no matter what time of year it is. They'll be like, "Hey, man, I know times are tough. How are you doing? Can I buy that NFT off of you?"
Yeah, it's discounted the price.
Yeah,
this is bear market.
Yeah, they'll hope, right?
Yeah. It's like, this is time to reach out to a couple of people. I do have one more question. You know, you touched a little bit about how Ethereum is actually becoming a little bit more centralized, and is it due because of the new merge to POS or to the proof of stake system, or does it come to that, or and also what are your thoughts on the proof of stake now with this new merge? I know that it's not part of the topic today, but I know it recently happened a couple of weeks and it's still fresh, and I just would like to have it here and you know, for the record.
Yeah, it is becoming. I think it's good that it went to proof of stake. I'm glad it went off without a hitch and didn't crash and burn and all that, and it didn't get delayed anymore. But yeah, proof of stake is not as wasteful because I know people call proof of work sometimes proof of waste sometimes because of all the amount of energy used, right? Where going to proof of stake, it's the people that are using the network they're the ones validating the transactions, and not miners that are having to solve and then dump Ethereum on the market over and over and over again. Instead, you reward the people who validate the network with the fee instead of the miners. So yeah, I think it's a great thing that Ethereum did, even though it does put a little more centralization into the coin. It still, to me, will be what helps further make the coin more viable in the future.
Yeah, proof of stake. I mean, it is the future for moving forward. Proof of work is it's almost like primitive technology now, where it's like, yeah, they mine for gold, they mine for Bitcoin, so they're just like in real world, like they have gold and it's still contained, it holds value. Bitcoin will always hold that value. There's going to be value to Bitcoin, even though it's still on the old proof of work model. Proof of stake is moving forward with cryptocurrency. So, and Ethereum has such potential for the future. So it's great that they actually made that transition, so it can grow even better and faster. I think a lot of people thought that the price. That's another thing people worry about. I know that's what I've been reading about too. The price is kind of we're still in a bear market. They thought it would shoot up, but it's kind of staying where it is. But I personally see, like I said, doing my research, I know what Ethereum can do, so I'm not worried about the price at all right now. I mean, a lot of people are expecting it to spike more after the merge. But.
Yeah, well, just to add to that, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. My thoughts are, you know, what you mean by centralized is because to become a validator, now that they changed the system, right? We're not using miners anymore. Now we're using validators. So you need to have, there's some requirements to become a validator, right? So it's like, you need to have like probably 30, 31, 32 ETH.
32 ETH.
Yeah, around there. And then you need to have the equipment. So that actually, it's not that easy to accomplish, right? Not everyone is carrying like 32 ETH on their wallet and like, okay, let me just become a validator and run all these transactions. So I think that makes it harder for people to be part of the network. And I think I believe that's the reason why it's becoming a little bit more centralized. And that's why I'm like, you just want to make sure that it might be due to that. That is.
Oh yeah, and also you've seen like Coinbase, right? Like Coinbase is one of the biggest validators now for Ethereum, which that makes it more centralized, and you're seeing a lot of entities that are huge like that being able to have more influence potentially, right? Especially if there's a voting that's going to happen.
I know, for sure. But yeah, guys, I really want to thank you. I think we actually went a little bit over, over the time that we had it. But I want to thank you guys for this amazing talk. I learned a lot. I will be talking to you guys soon, and I hope you guys keep on coming on with more and more knowledge, and then I guess we can start planning for the next series and keeping these people entertained and learning more about how the industry is growing and how it is changing and so rapidly, right? All right, yeah. So thank you guys. I'm gonna take it from here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
Everybody.
All right, everyone. This is amazing. Guys, once again, here is the link, LCube Studios.io/crypto insight. Please visit the site and just register or follow us on social media, so you never miss out on this crypto insight talks, where we bring people that love talking about crypto and it will teach you how to grow in the industry. And then, yeah, I mean, you can also leave your comments, thoughts, and everything on what you would like to see on the next crypto insight topics. And yeah, so we have start building on Web3. So a lot of people are already, we have different levels. People are beginners, intermediate, and advanced. And then if you feel like you're an intermediate, just go grab a crypto domain. So it's unstoppable domains. You can scan this QR code and you get a discount. And then you can actually, when you want to send money to your friends, and now you don't have to send them your full address. You can just send them your crypto domain. So for instance, it will be Luis Munoz that wallet, and then I will get the crypto that you sent me, like nice and simple. So if you would like to learn more on how unstoppable domain works or how crypto domains works, check out the previous series, Crypto Insight Series 5, where we cover a lot about ENS, unstoppable domains, and crypto domains in general, and how they work. Next, I would like to introduce once again LCube Studios. We are a design and development studio. We turn your ideas into reality by creating bespoke frameworks. That is leveraged to build scalable products, design and engineer to meet your business and technical specs. Let's make your framework. So anything to do with design, development, you name it. Building an NFT or Web3 products, we can do that for you guys. That's why we're here educating people about what's the future, what's it gonna look like in the next couple of months and years. And if you're interested in building something on this new space, come on, you can contact us. Or if you're looking to learn more about, you need more assistance or financial assistance with crypto and where to invest crypto, you can reach out to Ryan. All his information is on the description of this video, where he can actually assist you and go and pretty much hold your hand through where you want to do all your investments. And for me, this talk, he's noticed, you can tell that he's been in the industry. He's really paying attention to the market. And if you really want looking for some gains, he will be the person to go to. And then also, I wanted to also bring in Teddy. You want to learn more about crypto, you want to just, break down some terms or anything, just feel free to reach out to him. He's always there. And follow them on social media, on YouTube. And yeah, because they have They have such an opening, you know, so much knowledge that you can grasp from them, and we're here to help you learn. So I want to thank Ryan and Teddy for this amazing panel and for all the support, and thank you guys for the community. I also would like to thank my team, Lucas and Tenzi, for putting all this together, making this happen. Thank you, LCube. Yeah, so this was the end of Crypto Insight Series number 6, which is a webinar series addressing all things crypto. And today was all about how to do your own research. But last but not least, we would have given an NFT giveaway. So if you can please, just scan that QR code, it would take you to a website, and then you can scan the NFT so you can actually get a pull-up. And then once again, follow us on social media. You have our socials in there: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're here to help you guys. Feel free to reach out to us at any time. I have it here for a couple of seconds, and let me see. Yep. Yeah, this is it for me. Thank you again, everyone. Bye. See you until the next one.